Just a reminder, on our YouTube and anywhere you listen to podcasts, we have interviews with the amazing creatives that help make film you love a reality. For example, special effects makeup artist and educator Jee Joyner. With over 30 years of Hollywood and entertainment experience, Jee has created creatures and designs for major blockbuster films, theme parks and music videos, as well as concept art, toy designs, and award-winning gallery showpieces. Jee has over 20 years of makeup and special effects makeup education history, and he's also the co-founder of Legends Makeup Academy in Los Angeles, California. Let's talk about a movie from his filmography, Mimic. In New York City, cockroaches are spreading a deadly disease, so scientists create the Judas breed. The roaches carrying the disease are successfully eradicated, but what happens to the mutation? Nothing good. This is the first American film directed by Guillermo del Toro, who went on to make some amazing award-winning movies. However, despite everyone's efforts and all the talent poured into it, the film was not a financial success. Here's the tea. During filming, after Miramax boss Bob Weinstein saw early footage, it has been reported that he felt it wasn't scary enough. He stormed onto the Toronto set and attempted to instruct Del Toro on how to direct a movie. Del Toro stated later, "The only time I have experienced bad behavior, and it remains one of the worst experiences of my life. Horrible, horrible, horrible experience." That all being said, the special effects team did an amazing job. The Judas breed bug was wonderfully crafted. When you think of film franchises with the most films featuring the same characters, you probably think of James Bond.
James Bond.
With 25 movies. But are you forgetting Godzilla? That big lizard has been featured in 38 films, and 33 of those films are Japanese films distributed and produced by Toho Co. Originally named Gojira, according to the director of the first Godzilla film, Ishiro Honda, Gojira is the combination of gorilla and the Japanese word for whale, Kujira. Put them together and you get Gojira. Over the course of his nearly 68 years of existence, people have tried to come up with all sorts of inventive ways to kill the monster, from burying him in hot magma to attacking him with asteroids, but Godzilla has always prevailed. Why are we talking about Godzilla? Because SFX artist Jee Joyner helped sculpt the American version in 1998. Jee did makeup on Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Why?
Why me?
Why you?
Seriously, why not the girl over there? Look, she's very pretty.
Which one?
On the left, next to Brazilian Billy Bob Thornton.
Oh, that's a bit of a reach.
After being mistaken for an actor, a New York thief is sent to Hollywood to train under a private eye for a potential movie role. But the duo is thrown together with a struggling actress into a murder mystery.
So Dexter had Veronica killed, threw a dress on her, dumped the body, and walked away clean, except for one little thing.
Underpants.
One tiny little pair of undies.
It was also the directorial debut of Shane Black, a screenwriter with blockbuster action writing credits under his belt, including Lethal Weapon franchise, The Last Boy Scout, and The Last Action Hero. Black adapted the book Bodies Are Where You Find Them by Brett Halliday into the screenplay. Johnny Knoxville was originally attached to the role that eventually went to Robert Downey Jr.
Badly is an adverb, so to say you feel badly would be saying that the mechanism which allows you to feel is broken.
Well,
And it's been said Robert Downey Jr. considers his role as Harry Lockhart as his calling card to playing Tony Stark, Iron Man, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Black went on to direct Iron Man 3, The Nice Guys, and The Predator. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is a noir mystery with witty banter, laughs, and plays on LA stereotypes. With an 87% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, worth watching. Have you seen it? Let's talk about another film featuring the work of Jee Joyner. He was a maquette sculptor on this film directed by Steve Odenkirk and featuring Kevin James, Courtney Cox, Danny Glover, Sam Elliott, Wanda Sykes, Annie McDowell, and David Koechner. Can you name the film? Does it help if I say it's animated? Barnyard. When the farmer's away, all the animals play, sing, and dance. Eventually, though, someone has to step in and run things. A responsibility that ends up going to Otis, a carefree cow played by Kevin James. Male cows, called bulls or steers, do not have udders. Only female cows have udders, but in the Barnyard universe, Otis can make milk from his udder, which can be used for drinking and attack purposes. Director Steve Odenkirk figured that city folk thought that all cows have udders, so he went with it.
Well, I won't back down. No, I won't back down.
Maybe that name is familiar because Odenkirk is a director, writer, producer, and actor, and his writing credits include 33 episodes of In Living Color,
I'm Fire Marshal Bill Burns!
Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls, Patch Adams,
I got a boner.
The Nutty Professor 1 and 2,
Say one more word, buddy, I'll tear your arm off.
Bruce Almighty,
And I do the cha-cha.
The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius,
But I've got a big brain!
Evan Almighty.
These are birds.
But I honestly wanted to talk about his starring role as Chosen One in Kung Pao Enter the Fist. So Odenkirk had already worked with animated cows before directing Barnyard. Kung Pao Enter the Fist created to spoof the martial arts genre. It was written and directed by Steve Odenkirk, and he starred in it. And as the main character, the Chosen One, Odenkirk sets off to avenge his parents' deaths at the hands of Kung Fu legend Master Pain. So, there you have it, cow fights. Released in 2006, Barnyard grossed $116.5 million worldwide against a $51 million production budget and spawned a television series titled Back at the Barnyard, which ran for 2 seasons starting in 2007. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission: to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilization, and to boldly go where no one has gone before. We're talking about Star Trek. Star Trek Beyond, to be more specific, is the 3rd film in the rebooted franchise featuring an all-star cast. Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, Zoe Saldana, Carl Urban, John Cho, Anton Yelkin, Simon Pegg, and Idris Elba. But also features the sculpting work of SFX artist Jee Joyner, who we interviewed for Below the Line, and you can find it in our links. The crew of the USS Enterprise explores the furthest reaches of uncharted space, where they encounter a new, ruthless enemy who puts them and everything the Federation stands for to the test.
This was once a piece of an ancient weapon, and now they offer it as a symbol of peace.
The 2016 film was co-written by one of its stars, Simon Pegg, who has multiple writing credits, but most notably Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, Paul, and The World's End. Depending on how you look at it, Chris Pine is actually the 4th actor to play Captain James T. Kirk, most famously, of course, William Shatner, who was 2nd. Sandra Smith in Star Trek The Original Series, Season 3, Episode 24, Turnabout Intruder, was a Starfleet officer and former lover of Kirk, who forcibly switches bodies with Kirk in order to become a captain.
But whatever it is that makes James Kirk a living being special to himself is being held here in this body.
She spends the entire episode trying to kill her own body and Kirk's mind, but is of course thwarted. And then you have Jimmy Bennett in Star Trek 2009, who plays Kirk as a young child in an early scene of the film.
My name is James Tiberius Kirk.
And then Chris Pine. Currently, Paul Wesley plays Kirk in Star Trek Strange New Worlds.
Enterprise, this is Captain James T. Kirk of the USS Farragut, offering assistance.
That's a lot of Kirk and Trek, but that's not the only Star Trek in Lee's resume. His very first credit was on Star Trek Voyager Season 2, Episode 7. But that got me thinking about other people that worked on Star Trek early in their careers. How about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson? Forced to fight in gladiatorial competitions to the death. Playing the Pandari champion is The Rock himself.
I assure you, resistance is futile.
So is all your talk.
Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Worf and his son serve on a Klingon vessel where the Klingon Nagarin is played by Gabrielle Union. In 2 episodes of Star Trek Voyager, the crew time travels to the 1960s where they meet comedian Sarah Silverman playing Rain Robinson. In Star Trek The Next Generation, the Enterprise gets caught in a time loop that always has one result: total destruction of the ship.
This is Captain Morgan Bateson of the Federation starship Bozeman. Can we render assistance?
Captain Morgan Bateson, played by Kelsey Grammer, the Ferengi unleash a diplomatic gift aboard the Enterprise in Star Trek Next Generation. Played by Janssen, the rare, perfect, empathetic mate.
I will volunteer to stay in my quarters on the one condition: that you will visit me.
Also on Star Trek Next Generation, in a couple of episodes, was a brief romance between Wesley Crusher and Robin Leffler, played by Ashley Judd.
All right, specialist. What is our sensor status?
We're increasing the available bandwidth so more science teams can use the sensors at once.
Who's that behind the transporter controls on Next Generation?
And thank you for beaming me here and enabling me to see a truly beautiful woman. You have...
Well, I'm sure you've said that to many ladies before, and it was no more true then than it is now.
Teri Hatcher playing Chief B.G. Robinson. And we'll wrap up with the very young Kirsten Dunst playing Hadril, the daughter of a Karen diplomat in Next Generation.
Deanna was quite good at languages when she was little.
So there you go. Lots of Star Trek and lots of stars early in their careers. If you haven't listened to the podcast or watched the video version of it, I invite you to do that now. Follow the links and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.